It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for another Tiny Tidy. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Melinda, plain and simple. Today I am going to be going through this little cabinet down here. It needs a little tidying up, a little cleaning up. So if you've got anything that you want to do around your house, grab your stuff and come on. And let's do it together. And Pumpkin is going to help too, aren't you, Bubby? Okay. If you want more inspiration and motivation, click on the playlist. I'll have a link in the description box below. And I'll also have a link to Sunday Dawn's channel, The Helpful Home. She is the host of Tiny Tidy Tuesdays. Are you ready to get started, Bubby? You ready to start? Okay, let's see what we have down here. I have the tray part of a dish straightener, a couple of dish pans, and this is an old Tupperware container. The lid broke years ago. A couple of other things in here. On this side, I think I have a couple of cookbooks and things like manuals and that sort of stuff that I hang on to. That way I know where all of that is. And down here I have 2 crock pots, the toaster, and this skillet that I think I decluttered this in a couple of videos ago. And I put it down here just to make sure I didn't need it. Either that or this is the one I was thinking about. I don't know, but I think this is the one that I actually was going to declutter. So I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and let it go. You can see how it's kind of scratched up. So it's going to come out of the timeout zone. We're going to go ahead and let it go. Now I'm going to pull all of these things out of here because I need to clean this as well. You can see there's crumbs here. This is where we keep the toaster, so it does get crumbs here sometimes, but it's a convenient place for it. A lot of you probably know that I haven't done tiny tidies on a regular basis for quite a while now, but you may have found out by the time you're watching this that Sunday Dawn is no longer going to be doing the Tiny Tidy playlist. Now, she is going to be doing more things with her family and off of social media. But meanwhile, she said that she's okay with the ladies still doing Tiny Tidies and still doing the playlist. So I don't know what's going to come of that, but because I was a Tiny Tidy OG, I felt like it was appropriate for me to do a Tiny Tidy in honor of Sunday Dawn and the Tiny Tidies for the send-off, if you want to call it that. Whatever you want to call it whatever you want to think of it. But the thing with Tiny Tidies is that you can do them anytime. It doesn't have to be on Tuesday. And that's, to me, that's really the best way to go about taking care of the things around your house, whether it is cleaning or decluttering or anything else. Just do it in tiny bits. And I have continued to do that even though I have not been doing the Tiny Tidy collab, so to speak. I've still been part of the group. I'm still in the chat and all of that stuff. We all love Sunday Dawn and we all appreciate everything, you know, all the ladies. We just appreciate the little community that we have built, not just with each other, but with you guys too. And Sunday Dawn from The Helpful Home, she is the one that started the collab, and we are very appreciative of that. So thank you, Sunday Dawn, and thank you to all the ladies who have continued on with doing it. My toaster, I definitely want to put that back down there, but before I do, you can see it needs to be cleaned out. So I'm going to do that before I put that back. This I won't have to clean because I just used it yesterday, so it just got cleaned. This one, I've had this for a few years, several years, and I think I've used it twice. So I decided it's time for me to just go ahead and let it go. And so I sent a little text out in my family chat, and my niece wants it, so I'm going to give that to her. And here I have some gloves which those could come in handy. But I think I can put these down with my cleaning supplies downstairs. I tried using these for a while with washing my dishes, but I don't like the glove thing. I don't like the glove thing. I don't like the smell. I don't like anything about that. But there are times when you need to have gloves, so I'm not going to declutter them, but I'm going to move them downstairs. And I can always bring them back up if I decide I need them up here. I also have this cute little apron, and it has the top and everything too. I never use it. And I don't really have a place to hang it to let it just be like a cute decoration. I don't know if I can find a way to use it. Somebody in Randy's family made it, and so if I can find a way to use it, I will. This one, actually, all of these things, I put them down in that cabinet because I thought I might grab them out, and for a while I did, but then I didn't grab them out anymore. So I'm going to move these downstairs to my cabinet that has bins and that sort of thing, different containers, and that way if I do need them, I'll just go down there and get them, and they're not going to be taking up all that space up here, and I won't forget that I have them. Because if they're down there, I know that's where my stuff, I know that's where I keep this sort of stuff, and so if I go looking for something, that's where I'm going to look for it. And since I'm no longer pulling them out when I'm up here, they should go down there. They shouldn't be up here anymore. That's my thinking. I started to go through this bin on camera, but it was taking a little bit too long. So I decided to sort everything out and wash this out. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got some crumbly things, crumbs and stuff in it. While my shoebox is drying out, I'm going to go ahead and clean my toaster. Got this little tray part cleaned off. I'm going to lay it over here, and I just used a damp paper towel on it, but I want to make sure it's good and dry before I put it back in the toaster. So I'm going to leave it here for a few minutes, and meanwhile I am going to do a little cleaning up on the outside of the toaster. I don't know if you can see, it's got some smudgies, so it needs to be cleaned on the outside, but also here there's some stuff, and down in there there's some crumbs, so I want to get those out. The tray is dry and ready to go back in the toaster. The outside looks much better. The fingerprints are gone. The inside looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but much better, and those big crumbs are gone. All of those items, the cookbooks, the manuals, all of the things fit into this dishpan, and I could put it in my cabinet like that, but I would not be happy. I would rather have it sorted out a little bit. So this is what I decided to do. So for this shoebox, this is the one that I had down there already, and it had cookbook type things in it, and they fit very nicely in this shoebox thing. So let's see if we can get them all back in there. I took some of the loose ones and put them in one of these large Ziploc bags, like I had some other things already in here, and I left some things in this folder as they were, and that is going to be fine for me. This goes with my crock pot, so I'm going to keep that. And I actually have another one, and I'm going to look at them both and decide and just keep one of them, but I can do that later. And then I have a couple of small photo album type things, and they have recipes in them. So my sister made this one. She made this for her grandkids one year, and she made one for me too. And it just says, I thought of you today. And then they are family recipes. And in mine, she left some blank index card pages so that I could add to it if I wanted to. As you can see, I haven't. I probably should. And then this one has recipes from people in my family. One year at the family reunion, I asked for people to send me a recipe, and so some of them did. So I have a little collection, not that I've cooked any of them, but I have a little collection of them there. And I've already decluttered most of my cookbooks, but I kept this one that's a Campbell's soup recipe book, and this one says mostly plants. Kept those two. I think that's the only ones I have left, so might as well. And then this just has some loose ones. I have some of those little pamphlet ones that came from back when I sold Tupperware, so I kept one of each. So I put those in here. So a lot of these, I don't know if I'll ever use them. That's more of a memory thing, you know. People like to have their little cookbooks, right? So I'm going to keep that. But for my crock pot, there's one recipe in here that I actually use. But if I just write it down and put it on an index card, even if I put it in one of my photo or one of my little albums here, I won't remember where it's at. But I remember it's in here. So, and I don't cook it very often, so I have to pull this out every time I do cook it. But whenever I want it, I know that I can grab this little crock pot cookbook. So I keep that handy. So I'm going to hang on to that. And all of those cookbook things fit very nicely in there. And then I was trying to figure out, what am I going to do with the rest of this stuff? Before, I just had it kind of loose and sitting behind this. This was on the shelf, and then I just had these other things tucked in there as well. But I decided to do a little bit different. I remembered that I had a couple more shoe boxes down in my cabinet with the bins in it. So I decided to try this out, and I haven't done it yet. I washed them out, I let them dry. So now we're going to see if this is going to work. If I need a manual, I know it's going to be somewhere in one of these. Most likely I won't need them, but I have them if I do. And I think that will be fine. And then these, I'm going to actually grab the third shoe box. And in there, I'm going to put the apron. I rarely ever use an apron, but if I need an apron, I can use that one. And I can put the extra silverware, the ones that, you know, in case we lose one, we can put that in there. This goes with our silverware that we already have. I don't know if I said that, but this was the rest of the ones from the set. I only keep 4 in the main drawer, and I put the rest here. I didn't declutter them because, you never know when you might lose one, and we did one time. We had them for years and lost one. So luckily I was able to just go grab one out, and so those will be handy. And I can also just go ahead and put these gloves in here as well, rather than having to find a place to put them downstairs. And you can kind of see what's going on here with this. Okay, so on the top I have my shoebox containers. These are very inexpensive dish pans, and I was going to take them downstairs and just put them in with my bins in case I need them for something. And when I put the toaster back down here, I thought, oh, I could put it in one of these, and that way I wouldn't be getting the crumbs all over here, and I can just pull this out and clean this more frequently, and it'll be easier to do. Not that that was hard, but it'll just be easier, and it'll slide. And also, when I want this, it'll slide more easily in that, and that'll make that crock pot easier for me to get in and out. And I don't really have much in here, so I can always do it like that. So that'll work out much better. It'll make things a lot easier for me as far as getting them out and also cleaning them. We still have a few things left here. Let's see what we're gonna do with this stuff. Let me get it all out of here. I have these cards that are recipe cards, and I thought about using them, like for recipes, but I never did. I thought about decluttering them, but recently I've decided to do a little crafty thing. I may or may not do it, but I thought this might work well with the little crafty thing that I have the idea for. So for the time being, I'm going to put these with my crafty things. And then if I decide not to use these, I can go ahead and declutter them later. But for now, these are going to get relocated. And then this, I've been looking for a long time. These are the instructions for what I'm supposed to do with our the humidifier on our furnace, and I couldn't find it. I didn't know where I put it. So I think I'll write it out better. Maybe put it on an index card, and maybe I'll use one of these recipe cards. But I'll write it down on something and put it maybe with, I think I'll put it in a couple places. I'll put one up here, but I'll put one down with the furnace as well, because if I'm going to do it, I'll be down there doing it. So that's going to get relocated. And then I have this recipe book. I got this one time when we were on a trip. I think I got like 3 or 4 recipe book things, and I decluttered the other ones. This one's soups, and I was gonna try to make soups, but you know what? I never do. And I've had this for several years. I've had this since, I've had it for years. Yeah, years. Before the pandemic, years. I mean, I've had it for a while. I'm going to go ahead and declutter it. And then I have this one, which is easy crock pot recipes. I think I'll look through here and see if there's anything I want to make, but the only thing I ever make in my crock pot is pot roast. I made chicken yesterday. I don't really like it. I'm not going to make it again. So, you know, and I have a recipe that works for my, that I like for the pot roast. So probably that one's going to get decluttered as well. And then this is the little green machine, and I decluttered that. I gave that to my niece, and I just found this book was in this stuff. So I'm going to send this to her when my other niece comes to get this, or when I take it to her. So my niece will, I found this in there too. This goes with this crock pot. And so I'll give this to the one niece, and then the other niece will get this. So those will get rehomed. This is going to get relocated down to the bins. I have this thing. It's from 2018, and it gives the conversions. But I never think to pull it out to look at it, and you can Google it. So I'm going to let it go. And this was my original crock pot. I got a different one because my first one didn't have the removable crock, and it was hard for me to clean it because you can't get it in, you know, you couldn't put it in the water because of the electric and everything like that. So I got a new one when they came out with the removable crock kind, but I still kept the cookbook because of that same recipe. It's in here too. So I don't need it in all those books, so I'm going to let it go. And then I had gotten some paper, the reusable paper towels. They're fabric. And I kept the this thing in case I needed it, but I don't need it anymore, so it can go. And then this was, I decluttered these already a long time ago too. Some stock pots. And I also decluttered this popcorn thing years ago. So I don't need that either. I like this even better. I put the lid on this one, and then I turned all of this stuff on its side and put the lid on that one. So these stack, and that gives me a little more room over here. So if I need to put anything down there, I can. That leaves me with a few things to relocate and a few things that I am ready to let go of. I'm going to see if my nieces want these cookbooks and or the Crockpot cookbook manual. And then they will get these, the crock pot and these little manuals here. This is going to go ahead and get tossed, and these things can go either in the shred bin or the recycling bin. So thanks for hanging out with me, and let me know down in the comments if you did a tiny tidy along with me. Till next time, happy decluttering. Bye. And thanks again, Sunday Dawn. We love you.